हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल। आज का वीडियो स्पेशली क्लास 12 के बच्चों के लिए है जिनका इकोनॉमिक्स का एग्ज़ाम अक्टूबर 2024 में होने वाला है। इस वीडियो में आपको मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट 10 ब्रॉड क्वेश्चंस आपको देखने को मिलेंगे, जिसके आंसर्स भी आपको इस वीडियो में मिलेंगे, जो कि इस एग्ज़ाम के लिए, इस सेशन एग्ज़ाम के लिए बहुत बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट होंगे। तो चलिए बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। एग्ज़ाम पैटर्न पर बात कर लेते हैं थोड़ा। आपका जो पेपर होगा इकोनॉमिक्स का वो 100 मार्क्स का होगा और इस पेपर को लिखने के लिए आपको 3 घंटे का टाइम दिया जाए। द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट आर द वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ डिमांड, एक्सप्लेन इच इन ब्रीफ। एंड द आंसर इज प्राइस डिमांड. It refers to the different quantities of a commodity which will be bought per unit of time in a market at different price. It establishes the relationship between the quantity demanded and the price of the commodity. Other things remains same. The second part is income demand. It refers to the different quantities of a commodity which will be bought at different levels of income. And the third point is cross demand. It refers to different quantities of a commodity which will be bought as a result of change in the prices of related goods. Question is short note on given goods, and the answer is given goods are a special type of inferior goods in which negative income effect is stronger than negative substitute effect. Given goods do not follow law of demand as the demand rises when the prices rise. Next, example of given goods are jowar and bajra, etc. Next important question is what does individual demand curve show? And the answer is individual demand curve shows different quantities of a commodity demanded by an individual buyer in a diagrammatic form. Market demand curve is a sum of horizontal slopes of an individual demand curves. Next important question is explain the factors affecting market demand for a commodity. And the answer is first point is number of buyers in the market. Increase in population raises the market demand, whereas decreases in population reduces the market demand for a commodity. Not only the size of population but its composition like age also affects the demand for a commodity. It is because of needs of children, young, old, male and female population differ. Second our point is distribution of income and wealth. If the distribution of income and wealth is more in favor of the rich, demand for the commodities preferred by the rich, such as comforts and luxuries, is likely to be higher. On the other hand, if the distribution of income and wealth is more in favor of poor, demand for commodities preferred by the poor, such as necessities, will be more. And the third point is season and weather conditions. This is generally observed that the demand for woolen increases during winter, whereas demand for ice cream and cold drink increases during summer. Similarly, market demand for umbrellas, raincoats increases during rainy season. Next important question is define demand. What are the essential elements of demand? And the answer is demand for a commodity refers to the quantity of a commodity that a consumer is willing to buy at a given price during a given period of time. And the answer essential elements of demand are price of the commodity, quantity of the commodity, period of time. The time period may be a day, a week, a month, a year, or any other period. Next important question is define opportunity cost, and the answer is the opportunity costs of use of a factor of production, that quantity of the other commodity which he will have to sacrifice. Next important question is what is explicit cost? Distinguish it from implicit cost, and the answer is explicit cost is that cost which is paid by businessman for buying raw materials and using services of factors of production. Normally in business, the accountant takes into account only the actual money expenditures as cost. So in business, the cost is normally the implicit cost only. Implicit cost It is the cost of self-provided inputs. The businessmen do not make any payment for using services of self-provided inputs. It can lead to a misallocation of resources. आपने अगर अभी तक हमारे वीडियो को लाइक नहीं किया है और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो काइंडली वीडियो को लाइक ज़रूर करें और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर करें इसी तरह के आने वाले वीडियोस को देखते रहने के लिए. नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन इज स्टेट लॉ ऑफ सप्लाई एंड द आंसर इज द लॉ ऑफ सप्लाई depicts the relationship between price and quantity supplied of a commodity when all other determinants of supply remain constant. This law states that there is a direct relationship between price and quantity supplied of a commodity, other factors determining supply remaining constant. Next important question is, mention the assumptions of the law of supply. And the answer is, the following are the main assumptions of the law of supply. First point, price of other related goods should remain the same. Next point, there should be no change in the price of inputs. Third number point, technology of production should not change. Fourth number point, there is no change in the taxation policy of the government. Fifth number point, objective of the firm should not change. Next important question is, mention the factors which causing rightward shift of supply curve. And the answer is, fall in the price of other related goods, fall in the price of inputs or the factors, use of better technology in production, decrease in the rate of excise duty by government, if the objective of producer changes from profit maximization to sales maximization. अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इस वीडियो को लाइक ज़रूर करें और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब ज़रूर करें इस तरह के वीडियोस को देखते रहने के लिए. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग.